Hello everyone, this is Xander Turn and I'm back with the 11th BTR Flash Tournament Game 12. In this game, on the blue team, we have MrGhosty with a Commonwealth General deck. And on the red team, we have Don't Ask I'm Mad with a Scandinavian General deck. And now let us be going. As well, my new microphone just arrived, so let's see how well this goes. Alright, looks like we have some Storm Engineers off the bat. I have to double check that. Yep, STRV-121, that's a solid heavy tank. And STRV-105, that's a solid medium tank. M38A1CP, you don't usually see that. Most people prefer to go with the Iltis instead of that one, just because the Iltis is faster. I guess it does come down to personal preference. The M38A1 does have better autonomy, and is less expensive. M41DK1, that's a fun little reconnaissance tank. What else is he sending out? And M135, that's probably a good varmint of some flavor in there, maybe Stormers. What does MrGhosty bring out? Looks like he's... Obviously, MrGhosty is going to drop a command in Echo, and... Don't Ask I'm Mad, there you go, I can remember his name. We'll drop one in Charlie, just for that +2. Bison with Eric's coming out. Saxons with Fusilier 90s. Vickers Mark 11. What was that? Aslav 2 Scout. And 2 Challenger 2s. That is interesting. As well as a Stormer HVM. Some stalwarts with green jackets. Looks like MrGhosty is going to go hardcore into Gulf by the looks of it. Might try pushing into Hotel. Should be interesting to see how that turns out. Let's see what else. Got an automatic coming out. Oh, 2 SCRV-121, so it looks like we're going to have a fight between some high tier tanks. M8 Panzerbill, that's a fun little recon car. XA-186, that's probably Stormers or Varmint in there. Scout Defender. Another automatic. Another Panzerbill. So yeah, should be interesting to see how this goes. And hopefully we'll be able to win soon. Buys an 81mm. Coughing. Alright, and we are away. Alright, let's just wait and see how first contact goes. Those Vickers Mark 11 could be trouble for any light units that they come across. The M38A1 does get into Echo right off the bat and gives MrGhosty a +2 lead. Didn't notice this before, but Don't Ask I'm Mad has not brought out a command for Charlie, so he's going to be at a +2 disadvantage. And that's going to quickly accumulate points. Oh. That went down there. Stalwart went down. Meanwhile, these wheeled units are pushing right up. Stalwart, but they run into the STRV is an automatic, but the automatic does go down. But however, these STRV 121s are probably going to be more than a match for these Azlev TOW2s. And what was in there? It was FSK in the XA186s. Another automatic coming out from Don't Ask I'm Mad. He's pushed a fair amount of units into this forest here, with automatic hanging back to provide some AA support. Canadian rifles and TH-495s coming out to Gulf. And it looks like these STRV 121s might have a bad day with these Challenger 2s. Let's see. 23 AP. 22. So the STRV 121 does have better AP power. However, the Challenger 2 has much better armor, but it has a lower rate of fire. So it'd be interesting to see how this goes if they get into an open duel. Because those transports are blown up right next to the FSK, they are panicked. Don't ask. MrGhosty is going to want to be careful pushing these Challenger 2s up, though. He doesn't want them to have a bad day with those Eric's missiles. However, since the FSK are panicked, it does negatively impact their accuracy, and now since they're spotted, they're getting shot up by the TH-495s. Oh, the STRV 121s take out one of the Challenger 2s, but the other one is still intact. And now the STRVs are turning their fire to the Canadian rifles. Challenger 2 is coming out. Can't tell if it missed a shot into the STRV 121s. Oh, knocks out the Stormer HVM. Meanwhile, Don't Ask I'm Mad has gotten a solid foothold into Bravo, and he has brought out a command for Charlie, so he stops bleeding points. Automatic coming out. Oh, an F-111C. Oh, Challenger 2 takes a hit from the STRV 121s, but they're going to take some damage, but the bombs miss. Oh, one of the STRVs goes down, but the Challenger 2 is on 4 HP. Now he's on 2. He's going to want to get out of there. But will he make it? Bisons look like they might be smoking to block line of sight. Or they're just trying to panic them. And it looks like the Challenger 2 is going to make it out. Though it is slower than the STRV 121. So, no, it looks like Don't Ask I'm Mad is not going to risk trying to take out the Challenger 2. Meanwhile, he is pushing in Bravo. And looks like he's going to be able to push into Alpha. And there's not a lot that MrGhosty has that can oppose Don't Ask I'm Mad in Alpha. He's probably going to try and bring out that F-111C again. And a command vehicle coming out for Hotel from Don't Ask I'm Mad. That is going to give him a +1 lead. Couple of supply trucks coming out to repair that Challenger 2. Bison's firing on something. Probably just trying to get some panic these infantry in here. It is working. It has made these government shaken, and it's worried another group. However, 81mm. The 81mm motors do lack significant impact downrange, so it does take a while for them to cause significant damage. As FPCs and TH-495s coming out, got Canadian rifles along with commandos. That's going to be a powerful combination. Oh, looks like RBS 56 coming out. And some more Government. However, these green jackets are going to be able to spot everything, or almost everything, that Don't Ask I'm Mad is doing in Gulf. Oh. CV-9030 and Panzerwheels are engaging those transports. Storm Engineers have gotten some shots off at the TH-495s. However, the autocannon on the TH-495 is doing a lot of damage to those Storm Engineers. Panzerbill is doing some damage, but it's not very accurate and it's not very powerful, so it will take a while for it to do significant damage. And those Storm Engineers keep missing. And an F-111C is coming out to finish them off. Is it going to hit? It does stray within range of the automatic, but it does make it out after taking some damage, and the Gevarmen are only... One Gevarmen team squad is taken out, while the other one does take some losses. Meanwhile, these FSK are engaging these ERICs, and quite frankly, these ERICs are not going to stand a chance against FSK. Oh, Para GR7 coming out, and it hits. Oh, and the automatic takes out the F-111C. Oh no, it takes out the GR7, not the F-111C. That's what I meant. And now these Commandos, Challengers, and Canadian Rifles, along with their transports, are pushing into these Gevarmen. And the Bison is firing into the forest. Looks like he's trying to panic these guys right here. STRV 105 coming. That's really close to Challenger 2. It might get one-shotted by him. And it goes down. Panzerbill is running for it. And that automatic is in the open and gets knocked out by the Challenger 2. More Gevarmen coming out. However, it looks like they might have a poor encounter with those TH-495s and Canadian Rifles. Yep. Panzerbill goes down. Gevarmen are out. However, they are caught out in the open. Their transports go down, and these Gevarmen probably won't last much longer. Meanwhile, this Bison continues to shell these RBS 56s. Or the RBS 56 is only one of them there. Strangely, Don't Ask I'm Mad has not brought out a supply truck or supply helicopter to fix up his STRV-121, so it's still only on 6 HP. But he is bringing up an STRV-103D. It's a solid medium tank. It lacks a turret, and it's not the fastest tank out there, but it is small, and it has a high rate of fire and some decent frontal armor. 15 rate of rounds per minute and 15 front armor. It's nothing to be ignored. However, it's going to be pretty vulnerable at close range in a forest. Don't Ask I'm Mad has noticed this, and he's trying to pull it out. Commandos get one shot into it. To get another one, it's only down to 4 HP. These SBS are going to get pretty close. Takes another Carl Gustav and another, and it goes down. Up another command vehicle coming out from Don't Ask I'm Mad. It looks like he's going to try and put this in golf, I think. Yep. If it gets seen, it could very easily be spotted and knocked out. But if he does that, that's going to give him a +2 lead over MrGhosty, which will rapidly allow him to close distance and overcome that 79-point lead that MrGhosty acquired. Storm Engineers and their CV-9030s are doing some damage to those SBS. It looks like an LVKV-90 is coming out along with some more FSK. That's going to be a significant force that will not be easily pushed through. Electric Voodoo's escorting an F-111C coming out. That's probably going to drop some bombs right here. And it's off, but it is taking fire from the automatic. Is it going to make it? And it goes down. Though the Electric Voodoo does get a revenge kill on the automatic. And the FSK are left with only a single panicked member. That's probably not going to last much longer as soon as those Canadian Rifles and Commandos hit them. Though to his credit, he is going to go down fighting. And then, since these Commandos are in the open, they are taking losses. But the FSK goes down. However, some Gevarmen in their NM-135s are arriving. Though I don't know if that's going to be enough to halt this advance. Oh, Lynx H7's coming out after dropping off an HQ7. HQ7. HQ section. Man, I cannot talk today. Looks like MrGhosty's going to walk that HQ section into Bravo, which will even out the scores. LVKV90 is engaging these TH495s out in the open, and it's doing a lot of damage. That 40mm gun is quite powerful. Oh, but did take a shot and hit the Lynx H7, so MrGhosty is pulling that back to preserve it. While the Gavarman and Canadian Rifles are going at it, however, these Gavarman are outnumbered and they're going down. And it looks like this LVKV-90 is in danger of being engaged at very close range by infantry. That could be trouble. It looks like more FSK are coming out, but it won't be enough to stop all this infantry if they push in. More Storm Engineers coming out in a CV-9030. It's a very solid infantry fighting vehicle, probably one of the best non-ATGM carrying ones in the game. In case you want to see its stats, 4 frontal armor and 3 side. It's not an easy target to take out for your average infantryman. And that 30mm gun is nothing to be ignored. Storm CV-9030 does go down, and the Storm Engineers are caught out in the open by the Commandos. However, these Canadian Rifles are caught between some FSK and an LVKV-90, and that is going to be trouble for them. And this group looks like MrGhosty is trying to get this group to engage the LVKV-90. Oh, and the Electric Voodoo swoops in and takes it out. There are some PNMK 25mm autocannon fire support vehicles are coming out along with another STRV-105. An SBS group has infiltrated into this forest section and taken out the command there, and this STRV-121 is caught out, and it looks like does not have much longer to survive. And it goes down to some mortar fire. Looks like this Challenger 2 is pushing out these Jaegers. All of MrGhosty's infantry in this forest right next to Charlie have been taken out, though there's not a lot of units left there, and he is building up quite a lot of infantry and transports to push in as well. Don't Ask I'm Mad has been largely pushed out of Gulf and has lost his command there. Oh, MLU is coming out to try and take out the Challenger 2, but it fails, and the CF-188 goes down, but the tracked Rapier FSA finishes off the F-16. FSK were spotted by the Green Jackets when they took shots at them, so now they're being fired upon that Challenger 2 with its 4HE. So right now MrGhosty does have a +1 point lead and is at 100 points to Don't Ask I'm Mad's 93. And the ERICs knock out the STRV-105. And now there's not a lot stopping this Commonwealth infantry from just sweeping through Charlie. And if MrGhosty takes out this command vehicle, he will get a +3 lead. Oh, Leopard C2 Mex is just sitting out here in the open. Probably doesn't know if there's still infantry in these buildings, so he doesn't want it to get side-shotted by them. However, it is only an M72 loss, so it won't do a lot of damage to Leopard C2 even with the side shot. Or, I guess 5 side versus 13 AP, it will probably do a fair amount of damage to the Leopard C2 if it hits. That 30% accuracy really is not very good, but the Gavarman are spotted by the Green Jackets and they start taking fire from the Leopard C2. More Storm Engineers and CV-9030s are coming out for Charlie. I hope that Don't Ask I'm Mad unloads them somewhere in these buildings instead of trying to run them into the forest, because if he does that, they're probably going to get taken out in close quarters. M8 Panzerbrille is trying to stop this onslaught of ASLAVs and C2s, but it is not enough. He manages to take out one ASLAV, and it's taking shots at the other one. Up, and the C2 is detected and knocked it out. So Storm Engineer 90s were dropped off in the buildings, but now they are pushing into the forest along with their transports. However, I don't think MrGhosty knows just how much infantry that is in there. I mean, dontaskimmad does not know how much infantry MrGhosty has in that forest. And one of the CV9030s goes down to a Carl Gustav M3. Oh, no, it's just an M2. Never mind. Never mind. Two-seaters are engaging those Storm Engineers. CV90s pushing up. Commandos are getting stuck in. Storm Engineers miss. They're panicked, so they're not going to be able to do a lot of damage. CV9030 is shooting. MrGhosty is not turning off any of his machine guns, but the commandos do take it out. Probably order them to attack it. STR V103D is falling back. Yep, he's reversing into a forest. Hopefully he can get some flanking shots on those infantry as they try to push into the town. Meanwhile, Golf is firmly under the control of MrGhosty, and he's bringing out a command vehicle for it. That's going to give him a +2 lead, which is going to really help him rake in the points. Right now he's at 153 points to dontaskimmad's 93. Jaguar coming out. Interesting choice of air units. Guess it's going for the STRV, and it actually hit something. The missile is powerful at 30 AP. It just has very poor accuracy. Oh, Gavarman and Storm Engineers coming out. So I don't know if that's going to be enough to stop this. All of this infantry that MrGhosty has stockpiled in that forest. Looks like some SAS and Lynx H7s are coming out. That's going to be more trouble. Bold move with this Challenger 2, pushing it all the way in. However, these vehicles were distracted by the ASLAV 25 moving across the open field and did not notice the Challenger 2 coming. The CV9030 and the STRV 105 go down. And now the C2 Mexus is pushing up, probably to take fire from any HGMs that dontaskimmad has in that forest. Once those Storm Engineers go down, there's nothing between MrGhosty and that command vehicle. And if he takes that out, that's going to give him a +3 lead. Storm Engineers are taking a shot at the C2 Mexus. They leave it on very low health. However, the C2 Mexus is firing on them, and it leaves them worried. And he misses. And now the Challenger 2 is engaging, and they get hit by the Mexus at the same time, and they're down. And now there is nothing between these tanks and that command vehicle. The question is, does MrGhosty know that? I have a feeling that he has a strong suspicion that it's unprotected. MLU is coming out. And it gets a hit on the Challenger 2, but not before it takes out the command vehicle. And the MLU does get out on 4 HP. Automatic takes out the Lynx H7. But now that automatic is in danger of getting knocked out by these tanks. And an electric voodoo coming out. And that automatic is turned on, and it gets taken out by the electric voodoo. And now there is almost nothing between these tanks and dontaskimmad and his, I'm at a loss for words, his main command zone. Looks like some Jaegers are coming out in a Lynx. That's not going to be enough to stop them, but hopefully they can spot those tanks for some fire support. as 25s are pushing in, along with some SAS and some green jackets. That's going to be a lot of firepower. And I'm coughing a lot. Well, looks like MrGhosty is doing some tentative pushing with his commandos and fusiliers into Charlie. Lynx flies out in front of all that AA and other ground fire, and it's taken out. Mortar's coming down on that command vehicle. It is shaken. It's no longer... looks like it moves, so, and it's no longer providing control of Charlie 2. I mean, of Charlie. Keeps taking fire. And now MrGhosty's at a +2 lead. Electric Voodoo coming out. And Don't Ask IMAD has left his AA on, so it's in danger of getting knocked out by that seed plane. Oh, looks like the Shrike misses. And both missiles miss from the Electric Voodoo. Oh, STRV 121 is coming out. I don't think that's going to be enough to stop that Challenger 2 and that Nexus, though. MrGhosty's at 350 points. It's not looking good for Don't Ask IMAD. That SCRV 121 is trying to stop the advance. It takes out the Nexus. Challenger 2 has not been spotted yet. However, that Lynx 3 is starting to take shots at the STRV 121. It looks like it takes a hit from the Challenger 2. And it takes a hit from the Hellfire, and the Lynx 3 takes out the Scout Defender. And another Hellfire finishes it off. Automatic coming out. That's not going to be enough to stop a concentrated push from MrGhosty. Meanwhile, MrGhosty continues to just keep his infantry sitting in this forest and not pushing into Charlie. MOU is coming out. It looks like it loses its target, so it is evac'd. M8 coming out to try and spot all of these units. MrGhosty has captured Hotel, so now he's at a +4 lead. He's at 400 points. MLU coming out. Gets a hit on the Challenger 2. That's not enough to kill it, and it starts taking fire from the SAS and the Lynx 3. But it looks like it is going to make it out. Oh, it takes a hit. It's stunned, but I think it will survive. MrGhosty is pushing into Charlie fully, and it's not. These Gevarmen won't be enough to stop it. But the STRV 103 is providing some fire support. MOU finishes off the Challenger 2, and it evacs out of there. And now these infantry are moving out across the open, where they're going to be easy pickings for that automatic. And that STRV 103D is providing some effective fire support, but there is a Jaguar coming for it. And the Jaguar the Jaguar manages to take it out with a gun run and the second missile. And the Electric Voodoo's coming out. The automatic is still turned on. It's going to be vulnerable to seed. The first one misses. Second one hits. Now those Fennecs are going to be vulnerable to hits from those SAS's Stingers. Oh. First missile hits, second one misses. Is the third one going to be able to take him out? And the third one misses, and now they are pushing in, and the game is over. MrGhosty managed to secure a decisive victory over Don't Ask IMAD with effectively a 2-to-1 kill to loss ratio and 503 conquest points to 93. Overall, I'd say MrGhosty managed to secure a victory due to his very effective use of infantry. He managed to get large numbers of infantry together, and along with using their transports effectively as fire support, managed to push out Don't Ask I'm Mad, as well as some bold use from his tanks. Allowed him to get a very decisive victory in. Alright. I am Xander Tyron, and you guys have a lovely day.